Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? I wanted to make a really short kind of video response today, talking about games. Abraham had a great video out. I think it was yesterday, and it was about talking about Lovecraft, and that was kind of interesting. It's around that time of the year to talk about such things, but it was a really cool video. I recommend you go check it out. I'll put a link in the bottom. So this is kind of like a video response. Not really, just I'm gonna talk about Lovecraft a bit too, just for a second. Um, maybe get out my little anthology. Here it is, my little anthology I got a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago or so, of Lovecraft. But I remember I got introduced to Lovecraft kind of late, to be honest with you. I'd seen the first edition Deities and Demigods. My friend Todd sold, I think, which I wish I could have bought it from him. Should have bought it from him way back when. But there was the Cthulhu mythos in that. I really had no clue what the heck that was. I'd heard of Lovecraft later on, and I don't think I actually, cracked a book until around like I graduated from high school. So around like, age 18 or so. And, a guy that lived in my grandmother's house as a boarder actually had like one of the books and had, probably like 5 or 6 stories in it. And one of them was At the Mountains of Madness. And, I was hooked. I read that and I was like, holy crap. And I went on to read, all the stuff, buy it all and they kind of devour everything he'd written. And, it's just, really bizarre stuff. And of course, there's tons written about that and him and everything else. So I just kind of, put my own little, 2 cents in or whatever, my history, and that was something. And at the same time, the guy had some books by August Derleth and Clark Ashton Smith. So I read some of the kind of tribute stuff, Cthulhu Mythos stuff. I wish I still had those books. I have to go grab some anthologies of what they wrote as well, because that's good stuff. But I tell you, like those stories, I'm not a fan of every single story of his. Some are like better than others. It was the premise. It was that whole mythos that he brought to life that really kind of hooked me. And the way he did it, he was a terrible writer. Really repetitious and everything. But one thing that Abraham said that really kind of struck home was he always left you wanting more. Like they just went in a little bit. Something like the Dunwich Horror. You never really get too much. At the Mountains of Madness, you hardly get anything at all. You see some stuff, but you wish you'd seen more. Shadow over Innsmouth, you kind of run away scared out of your mind. Call of Cthulhu, you're like, man, what else was there? And so that's just neat stuff. That's to me kind of opened my eyes to like the other side of fantasy. Something like, and when you're gaming, because I talk about gaming a lot. When you're gaming, if you kind of like have like a Middle Earth perspective, okay, well there's something that you can defeat, you can overcome. You're gonna figure out how to get the One Ring to the Mount Doom and get rid of it. You're gonna take care of Smog, or get somebody else to take care of Smog for you and get the gold, that sort of thing. That's how you're going to view fantasy and gaming, which is fine. But there's that other part of gaming where it's like you come against stuff or come across stuff which really could care less about you, is rather harmful to your existence, and is there's nothing you can do about it. The best thing you can do is run. And that's the other side of gaming, where there's, sometimes the win is to have brushed against something and survived and gotten out of there alive. And I like that whole part of gaming as well. So yeah, that's to me is part of the life that Lovecraft brought to gaming, where it wasn't just all about everything is a challenge that can be overcome. Sometimes there's things that cannot be overcome, and you need to run. Strap on your Nikes and hightail it out of there, and just be glad that you made it out alive. And so I dig that. I dig that vibe. Lovecraft is something I can only read every once in a while. I have to be in the right mood, and you read too many of his. You read this whole book, you're going to be a little dark by the end of it. So, that's just a warning. I always have to, kind of gauge my condition when I'm reading it. I was like, okay, I should put this down for a little while. Get a little dark, but good stuff. And disturbing is cool every once in a while, as long as you take it with a grain of salt.